Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to the Game of Fortune. Sorry, it's been a few days since I've been here because, you know, busy and work and all that, but we're back. We will get to the end here, eventually, I promise. Eventually, I'm not making any time promises, but we'll get there. Anyway, I think we're just about ready for another death game, so let's jump in, shall we? Well, Clyde, what do you think? About everything we just learned? It feels weird, frankly. I feel like we got caught up in something that we don't really have any business getting involved in. Well, it's not like we're really involved. We're just helping people get the information they want. Right, that's one way to put it. But all we can really do is try and do our part to win these games and get our wish, right? We all do that, then we go home. That seems to be the point Kishi was making. You don't think she'd lie about that, do you? It seems like it'd be a dumb thing to lie about. But we could go and confirm it against some of the people here if we're not certain of it. Like who? Maybe Grant or even Maria? They were part of the Digits of Eden, so maybe we can glean some information out of them. Good point. Better to confirm with them and be certain of the facts. We walked back over toward the couches by the lounge, where Grant was sitting. He'd be the first person that we'd chat with. But before we could approach, we heard the sound of a door opening. Phew! Teresa exited out of the bathroom and was scanning over the lounge. Well, look who it is. I didn't know you'd all be coming so soon, otherwise I would have had a welcome rug prepared for you in advance. I see that Lilith is back to her usual self. How's it going? You sadistic bitch. Lilith leaped up from the couch and stormed over to Teresa. Lilith, do you know how much money I'd have if I got a nickel each time someone called me a sadistic bitch? Probably not that rich at all, but probably enough nickels to disturb some therapists out there. You think you're fucking funny? No funny around here to fuck with. You little... Lilith grabbed Teresa by the scruff of her shirt with one hand and swung at her face with the other. Whoa! Teresa leaned her head just enough to avoid a solid hit, but was still smacked on the temple slightly. Hey Lilith, there's no need to get violent. Fuck off, this bitch got to gleefully play around with our lives. I think she deserves at least one black eye. Oh no, whatever shall I do? While she was distracted, Teresa sucker punched Lilith in the gut. Hey, you hit me first. I'm just defending myself. Fucking bitch. That's enough. You two really don't need to be fighting one another. Grant got between the two and pushed them apart. I'm going to make you pay for what you did. Oh, I look forward to it. I'm sure it'll be a fun experience for us both. Can you two please stop? What do you gain from fighting right now? Catharsis from seeing her wallowing on the ground like the pathetic bitch she is. You mean like how your sister did in the last moments of her life? Lilith lunged toward Teresa again, but was stopped as Grant stood in the way. Oh, this is just too easy. If Lilith wasn't so reactive, it wouldn't be that fun. Good thing that she is. Maybe she'd be as entertaining as her sister. Fucking piece of... Well, this has been a joy. Now, if you want to go in for another tussle, Lilith, well, you know where to find me. And if you really want to have some fun, well, just join me in the next game. Until then... Teresa winked and then walked over toward the kitchenette. That bitch. Calm down, there's no point fighting her right now. If you want to get back at her, just beat her in one of the games. I know that. Also, let go of me. I don't need you holding me back. Right. Hey, what happened? Yeah, we just saw you two get into some kind of fight. I'm fine. I'll just get her later. You sure? Will you quit it? I'm not some delicate daisy that's going to crumble because of one gut punch, alright? She gut punched you? Well, Lilith did hit her first, to be fair. I said I'll be fine. We're all here, aren't we? So we can just get right to the next game. Maybe we should wait a bit. You clearly need a moment to cool off. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't treat me like I'm some child throwing a tantrum. I'm not treating you like a child, but you want to beat Teresa, right? Of course I do. I want to make her suffer. Do you think you can do so when you're all frazzled up? If you want to beat her, you'll have to beat her on your A game. She's the type that preys on your weaknesses, frustrations, and insecurities. As you are now, you won't stand a chance against her. Lilith growled in frustration, but nevertheless sat down on the couch. Fine. Give me a few minutes to calm down. But I'm going to play the same game as Teresa. That's a promise. Sure, as long as you're mostly in a calm state. We can continue our conversation here if you want, Kishi. Not that it's going to change much. Look, I know you don't think much of it, but it's a serious deal. And I told you I'm not intent on changing my mind. Probably best to let those two figure things out on their own. If Lilith is going to take a moment to calm down, maybe I ought to do the same. Maybe a glass of water will help. And then again, that'll put me in the same room as Teresa. No point in being scared of her though. It's not like I'm playing a game with her. I'll just get some water and leave. Hey Clyde, want to grab something to drink real quick? You want a drink now? Not anything alcoholic, just some water. Oh yeah, that's fine. I forget how much time passes through these games. It's probably better to get a drink and rest for a while. Glad you agree. I grabbed his arm and pulled him toward the kitchenette. Hey, don't pull my arm too tightly. We moved over to the kitchenette where Maria and Teresa were pouring themselves drinks. Ah, come to get yourself a drink as well? Seems everyone is thirsty these days. Would you come here to give me a beatdown too? I'm not keen on getting sucker punched in the gut. Me neither. Oh come on, I wouldn't sucker punch you in the stomach. That'd be too predictable. I'd probably try something like kicking you in the balls or poke you in the eyes. It's not exactly reassuring. Just know that it usually works as a very effective combat maneuver. At least as a surprise. What about you, Maria? You ever had to give someone a swift shot between the legs to keep them away from you? Thankfully not. I'm pretty strong, so I don't have to resort to cheap shots like that. Cheap shots? Well, I guess that's one way to put it. It's not like I get harassed or bothered by people anyway, so I don't have to worry about it. The most fighting I ever get into are sparring matches at the gym I work at, and that's a whole different beast. Huh. Well, if you're in a boxing match, it'd be really effective to kick someone in the balls. And illegal. They say no blows below the belt, right? You could probably get away with one though, right? Clyde and I both rolled our eyes and just grabbed some cups to get some water. You two just getting water? Yeah, no point getting tipsy before a game. Last thing we need is to be tipsy. I personally think it'd be extremely fun to... Oh. Why are you looking at us like that? Huh. I didn't know that you two were together like that. Like what? Dating. You got a different look in your eyes now. It's protective. Kind of like the look in the eyes of parents when they're trying to keep their kids safe. Granted, I don't know what that looks like with parents, but I've seen it with lovers though. That hidden fire burning in the eyes to keep the person they love safe, throwing away their lives to do so if they must. I see that spark in both your eyes. Before it was the kind of thing you'd expect from friends, but now it's blooming into something more intense. How adorable. Are you serious? I mean, you don't even want to deny it, do you? Because that would hurt the other person's feelings. You're terrible at teasing people, you know that? You're supposed to do it in a way that makes them feel giddy, not ashamed. Ashamed? There's nothing to be ashamed of. Love blooms in the wildest places. If anything, I think it's cute. And exploitable. I'm teasing. I wouldn't want to take advantage of such a beautiful relationship forming right before my eyes. Yes, you would. We should drink to celebrate, after all. Who knows how long you'll be able to survive together with these feelings. Maria, why don't you go pour our lovebirds a drink? You can do that yourself. I'm not going to push anything onto them. You're no fun, but if you insist. Teresa stood up and grabbed a pair of wine glasses and set them on the table. What'll it be, you two? You have any preferences? We're not going to drink anything. Didn't you hear what we said earlier? Oh, come on. It's no fun if I'm drinking by myself. You got Maria? You're right. I guess I do have Maria. She put the wine glasses away and then sat down beside Maria. We're going to have a drink for the both of them. What do you say? You want a deep dive into the booze? I'm fine with just the drink I've got, thank you very much. Even Maria's been a killjoy. What a pain. Teresa sighed and then lazily took a sip of wine from her own glass. But even drinking anyway. Vodka. It's my favourite. Really? Not beer? Yeah, beer's not really my favourite. Tastes way too bland. Interesting. Is it really? I just don't think beer is all that special. I mean, it's okay, but it's not really my go-to. Same here. I prefer something sweeter, honestly. Not even light beers do it for me. I just remember because Everett told me a funny story a while back, you know, before he kicked the bucket. He told me that your mother was fond of beer, probably because it was cheap and easily accessible. Maria's expression soured and she turned her head away from Teresa. Hey, Teresa, maybe don't talk about things like that. It's a sensitive subject, don't tell her that. Oh, I knew that already. Everett filled me in on the details about May. How she got into the digits of Eden, how she was pregnant with you, how she was dreadfully alcoholic despite being pregnant. He told me how apparently there were stories that she would down a six-pack every day and night. Teresa, seriously, can you knock it off? That's not how you talk about someone's mother. Especially since she's dead. Oh yeah, I know. But you know the saying, don't speak ill of the dead. I would respect it, but it's just so funny. There was a story that the reason that she couldn't nurse Maria when she was a baby was because her boobs were full of beer rather than breast milk. Can you imagine that? Beer-flavoured breast milk? Whenever it said that to me, I almost died laughing. Just hearing it again makes you want to... She didn't really do much to hide her laughter. If anything, she was just waiting for the right moment to get under Maria's skin. Can you imagine that, Maria? As a fresh baby, thinking you're going to get milk? And you're treated a horse piss that'll probably kill off what few brain cells you had left? It's a miracle you turned out the way you did. I can't imagine how you ended up in one coherent piece after all that. I figured you'd have some severe mental disabilities or something, but look at you, all grown up and in a healthy state of mind. You do your mum proud, I bet. That's what Everett and I where Everett and I disagree. He thought that you were the splitting image of your mum, both in temperament, intelligence, and fortitude. But it's obvious you're better than her. If anything, I'd say that she lucked out having a daughter that didn't deserve her. What do you think? Maria downed the rest of her drink and let out a soft sigh. Well, honestly, I don't think too much about it. I've heard all sorts of things said about my mother. This is just another drop in the bucket, really. You're no fun. I was honestly surprised by Maria's restraint. She broke down the last time someone talked ill about her mother. At least before she had a wide open space to get away. But here there's nowhere to run or hide. Maybe she was able to get everything out when I talked with her before. That's good. I was afraid she would have decked Teresa. Not that Teresa didn't deserve it, but we don't need an all-out brawl happening here of all places. Well, if that's how you're going to be. Teresa began to get up from her seat, but Maria put a hand on her shoulder. Just one thing, Teresa. You should be a bit more careful with your words. In a flash of a moment, Maria's hand reached up to grab Teresa's hair and smashed the glass against her head. Oh, she glassed her. Nice. Very Australian. Teresa stumbled but managed to keep her balance as she brought her hand to her head. Blood was already starting to seep from the freshly infected wound. That's your first and final warning. Next time it'll be 10 times worse. Maria pushed Teresa out of the way and walked back toward the lounge without even addressing the cuts in her own hand. We should go. Yeah. I mean, maybe we could help Teresa, but nah, fuck Teresa. She's already taken care of things herself. If anything, she seemed more annoyed that Clyde and I were making sure she was okay. Maybe she's the type that doesn't like help, or maybe she's frustrated that Maria caught her off guard. Either way, it's obvious that she didn't want us around as she picked glass out of her head. So we moved back to the lounge. Not that things were any more peaceful there. You did what? Well, I just slugged her in the head. She deserved it for what she said. Maria, you can't just whack people because they make you angry. No, I think that she can. I only wish I was there to see it. Good grief. I know that she's provocative and irritable, but to hit her in the head with a glass... What about your hand? It's just a flesh wound. Now's not the time to be joking around like that. Well, what's done is done. It's not like she can go back and undo it. Exactly. All we can do is press forward now. That's not the point. How and Teresa are expected to play with your injuries? Can't Belle just heal them up? I mean, she probably can, but what if she doesn't? Then Teresa's just going to have to play a game with glass shards in her head and a mild and to severe headache. No skin off my back. People, please. Like, if you're worried about Teresa, just let her play in the last game. Fine. I suppose we can organise out the groups then. Might as well. Alright then. Kishi, do you mind doing the honours while I check on Teresa? Sure. Grant left the lounge and went to check on Teresa. The hell were you thinking, Maria? I got mad. What do you want me to say? Ugh. Kishi sighed and walked over toward the open doors leading to the game room. Alright, well, let's try to make this work. Does anyone have any preferences at all? Well, I don't want to join Teresa, if that wasn't obvious. Noted. I'll be joining Teresa, injured or not. Now I'm going to get my chance to put her in her place. I mean, it'd be easier to now. Okay. I'll also be joining with Maria this time around. Just want to make sure she's doing alright, that's all. I'm fine, Alphonse. I don't need you watching over me. Yeah, but you say that all the time. It's starting to sound like you're just droning on. I'll join with Maria and Alphonse then. I see. It's really just don't want to play a game with Teresa, honestly. Alright, that makes a group of 3, then I'll join the second group with Teresa. I see. Well, then are you 3 okay joining with me? Are you going to keep asking me the same questions over and over again? Till I'm blue in the face so you change your mind. Well, your hair and eyes are so blue that I guess your face wouldn't be that far off. But if you want, that's fine with me. That's fine with me as well. I don't mind Kishi tagging along. And that'd put me, Grant, Lilith and Teresa in the second door, right? Yep, guess you better run that by Grant and make sure he's fine with it. Not that I think he'd be against it, but I'll go ask. Clyde walked over toward the kitchenette and returned pretty quickly. Grant said he was fine with it, Teresa too. Alright, then that means that we're good to go into our groups then. Shall we move on? Just 1 second. I turned to Clyde and quickly embraced him in a hug. I just want to hold you one last time. After all, I might not see him again. Well, I might not see him again this loop. And chances are I won't remember that tender moment we had earlier. So does that mean I'll forget? Hey, it'll be okay. No matter what happens, we're going to be together again. I know, but I'm going to miss this, you know? Not that I'll remember it, but it's going to suck just holding in these feelings. Yeah, that's what'll keep us pushing forward, right? To be able to reach those feelings of love and admiration once again. Yeah, it's not how it works though. Now, don't ruin the moment. What, they're not going to be able to use it as a motivator if they can't remember it. The power of love doesn't transcend time as much as you wish it did. Ow! Don't listen to him. I'm sure you two will remember each other's love for one another through each and every loop from here on out. Thanks, I'd like to believe it. Worst comes to worst, it's not true, but at the end we'll remember everything, right? Exactly. Wait, when did you two learn about all this anyway? You two are all new to this, aren't you? Kishi told us. She did? Well, they were asking, so figured I might as well let them know. Really? You just told them? It's basically what happened. Ignore the part where we were asked to get info on various people, and sure, it does seem kind of innocent. Well, alright, I don't think you were going to talk about it. Figured that everyone who knew was keeping mum about it. Well, the truth was bound to come out sooner or later. Maybe it already happened and this is just a reminder. Either way, it doesn't change what we have to do. Right. So let's do this. I let go of Clyde and gave him one last wave before leaving with the others to enter the first game door. Another waiting room. Not that I expected anything to be different, but the atmosphere always seems to change whenever I walk into one. Maybe it's the anxiety of knowing another game is coming up, and I doubt that it'll be easy or simple as it was last time. So Alphonse, Maria. What's up? Is there any way I might be able to get you to change your mind on your goals here? No. What? All I'm here for is to help my mother out. No need to keep the act up, Maria. I already spilled the beans. What? Why? There wasn't really a need to keep quiet about it. We only need to play the part to get into the game. Now that we're here, there's no real reason for us to pretend that we're goody two-shoes. Yes, there is. What if Kishi ends up undoing our wishes? Nah, they're going to be focused on their own thing. You don't know that. Kishi might still have an opportunity to undo our wish if Zeph already got his. And like, there's no reason to even tell her. Are you stupid? No, but I mean, it would be obvious sooner or later what we came here for, so I figured it wouldn't matter. God damn it. To his credit, I will try to stop you if I can this time around. And I probably would have figured things out, whether you told me or not. Please don't get in our way, Kishi. It doesn't concern you. Of course it does. If you kill Nigel, what do you think my grandma's gonna do? She'll kill both of you, and not only that, but you think the Digits of Eden will be better off without it? I mean, yeah, a three-headed dragon's better than a four-headed one. More like a hydra. You chop off one head and two more venomous heads pop up instead. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll start fighting one another. Point is, we're not backing down, and if you know what's good for you, you'll stay out of our way. Why are you two so damn suicidal? This isn't going to change anything. You're just throwing your lives away for nothing. Well, if that's what you think. Once again, I was in the middle of some spat I didn't have any business in. My, things are getting heated here. This kind of atmosphere I love to see pre-game. Don't worry about it, it's just a fight among rivals. Oh, rivals, how exciting. Are you the fun kind of rival, the one that pushes each other to win and better each other with each passing fight, or are you the murdery kind that wants to take down your opponent in the most painful way possible? Pretty sure it's like a nemesis and not a rival. Can't they be both? I guess. Also, I saw the development that you had there, Devon. Congrats on getting to first base. He was hoping you make a home run soon. Why is she bringing this up? She had front row seats to the whole show. Is she just talking about it to embarrass me? Please don't focus on that. If you insist. Clearly you're all excited to get to the next game, and who am I to stop you? Shall we get to the roulette? Please do. Then without further ado... The screen changed to show the roulette once again. Another random set of games based on Belle's whims. But what difference would it make? Clyde and I were separated again. And more importantly, if what Kishi said is true, then there's no real point in worrying about dying anymore. Since we'll just get to reset to some arbitrary point and play again, right? Though I guess I should still try. After all, I might not have won yet. Either way, it feels like there's a lot less stress this time around. Hopefully this doesn't affect how I end up playing. But before I could organise out my thoughts, the screen slowed down to show what type of game we would play. Ah, so we're playing a 2 versus 2 game. One team shall live and one team shall die. Ain't it exciting? It's about as exciting as all the other screens you've shown so far. Until you tell us what the game is though, there's not really any excitement to be had. I see, well give me a moment to think of something. Aha! Well, you know what, Alphonse? I think you'll like this one. Let's play good cop, bad cop. Why do you think I'd like this? You're an investigator, don't you like questioning people? It's not exactly a pleasant experience. Not to mention that the rest of us aren't exactly detectives or cops. I don't think we'll be all that good at this game. Nonsense, you just have to have the right attitude. No skill or ability, just attitude and you'll do fine. Yeah, plenty of oomph. She's right, all we need is determination and drive. See, Maria gets it. That doesn't change the fact we're not exactly good at interrogating people. Now that we've got that settled, let's determine the teams. Alright, we're going to get split up. Not that I really care what ends up happening, but I'd hope to have a reliable teammate. Though each of them are pretty reliable in their own way. If the game's name is anything to go by, then Maybe there's going to be some kind of interrogation or questioning phase. In that case, it'd be nice to have Alphonse around. He seemed like he'd be good at that kind of thing. Though, if we're getting questioned, then someone who can stay calm under pressure would be good too. Kishi's pretty stalwart and able to keep herself calm under pressure, I think. Maria, though, well, she only explodes when her mother gets brought up. Otherwise, she's probably be fine too. The teams will be Alphonse and Kishi versus Devon and Maria. Oh, well, that does it. I'm going with Maria then. Hey, look at that. We're paired up again, Devon. I think that's swell. Yeah, it's pretty good, but aren't you a bit upset? You're going to be split up from Alphonse. Yeah, it's sad, but I'll be alright. We knew this was how it was going to go eventually. Can't win them all. Yeah, and I don't expect to plan on shedding tears if Maria dies either. Well, you're really not going to shed a single tear? Nope. You sniffle a little, rub your eyes, maybe hold your breath to avoid getting teary-eyed? I might do something like that. You two have a weird relationship. That's putting it lightly. Well, weird relationship or not, it would be put to the test in the game. Kishi, Alphonse, if you would please enter the game room through the left door, that would be nice. Maria, Devon, you two can go through the door on the right. See you soon. The television screen shut off and Belle left us to our devices. Well, you heard the lady. Let's get a move on. You can yak my ear off more if it makes you feel better. Kishi just sighed and quietly followed behind him. Well, should we get going? Might as well. Lead the way. Will do. This is... Hold up, are we actually in jail? This is bullshit. Haha. Belle's voice echoed in the room before she appeared on the other side of the bars. Enjoying the view? It's a fitting one, don't you think? I'm not a criminal, so no. Of course not, you're not criminals, you're cops. Which to some people would be like 10 times worse. Yeah, so why are we in a cell? Because it's needed for the premise of the game. Oh, and before we begin, Maria, give me your hand. Okay. Maria held out her uninjured hand. No, not that one, the other one. This one? She had out her injured hand. Getting into fights before games isn't good for your health, you know. Belle carefully held the hand and inspected it before giving it a small kiss over the wound. Hey, what are you doing? Just healing up your hand is all. Maria looked over her head and noticed the blood and cuts from it had vanished. Well, cool. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'm here to give you the details of good cop, bad cop. Don't you need to tell Alphonse and Kishi this too? I am Maria. I can project myself in multiple places at once as needed. So right now I'm giving them instructions in their room with my projection. Or maybe I'm the projection. Well, if you're going to give us information, spill it. So demanding. I guess you're going to be the bad cop. Anyway, listen closely to what I have to say. Good Cop, Bad Cop is a game about being able to keep calm under pressure and not crack when interrogated. Similarly, it will also test your ability to draw out information from others. The rules are simple. First, I'm going to ask both teams to pick one of 3 balls. Once you select it, that's it. Your choice is locked in. After each team has selected a ball, each team will be given the opportunity to interrogate one member of the opposing team for 4 minutes. At the end of the interrogating team can decide if they want to make a guess on what ball the opposing team picked. If they're correct, then they win. If they're wrong, the opposing team wins. Simple, ain't it? So far, yeah. A few rules though. When you're being interrogated, you must answer all questions. There's no right to remain silent here. You don't have to answer truthfully, but you do have to answer. If you fail to do so, then I'll just execute your team. So much for that strategy. Secondly, when you're interrogating, you can use any methods to get results. You can't inflict any lethal injuries or kill the person you're interrogating, but anything else is fair game. What kind of methods are you talking about? Torture, of course, the kind that everyone loves in movies. It's only 4 minutes, but imagine the torment you could go through in that much time. She doesn't expect us to actually torture people, does she? By the way, when you're interrogating people, you'll be taking them to a separate room that's got a multitude of fun tools and items that you can use. I'll show you the way when it's time. When you're done interrogating, you can lead them back to their cells. And that's about it. Real simple, ain't it? We'll just keep going back and forth until one team finally cracks under the pressure and either gives a right answer or a wrong answer. But who's going first? I'll flip a coin. Heads, then your team will interrogate first. Tails, the other team will interrogate first. However, the team that interrogates first won't be able to decide what the other team picked for a ball until after the first interrogation. Meanwhile, the team that interrogates second can choose to do that immediately after their first interrogation if they want to. I guess that's meant to balance out that one team gets to go first, or at least give both teams the chance to interrogate. Any questions? So we're actually supposed to act like good and bad cops? Only if you want to. Maybe both of you want to be good cops, or maybe both of you could be bad cops. Doesn't matter to me, just do what you think gets results. It's kind of scary. It's only scary if you let it be. But if you don't have any questions, let's flip a coin, shall we? Wait, are you going to flip the coin for the others too? Of course, don't worry, the coin's going to have the same result no matter where it's at. Remember, I'm simply projecting. So that projection even works? Nevertheless, Belle took some shiny blue coin out of her pocket and showed it to us. One side had a 4-leaf clover and the other side had some kind of skull. Heads is the skull, tails is the clover. So? She tossed the coin in the air before catching it in the hand. It's heads. So you'll be interrogating first. But before that, Belle reached behind her and showed us 3 bulls. Pick a bull. Any bull. Oh, that was weird. Belle was right. The bulls were red, blue, and green, but they were also different in a number of ways. The red bull looked to be made of glass and had a polka dot pattern on it. The blue bull was made of rubber, so it also had small spiky points all around it. And the green bull was made of wood and had a star-like pattern on it. Is there a reason why the bulls are so different? Variety is the spice of life, and this makes them a bit more memorable, don't you think? I see. You're giving us a way to draw out information from the other team based on what the bulls are like. Aside from just colour. Well, that's one way to interpret this. Well, works for them too. They might want to ask us questions about what the bull's made of if it had any patterns on it. So we need to be careful how we answer those questions too. Right. Well, anyway, we still need to pick a bull. Do you care about any of them? Not really. They all look fine to me. Then I'll just pick one. Oh, man. I don't want to be given the burden of having to pick one myself. Red. Let's go with the red bull. Fine with me. Red, glass, and full of polka dot sass. Does polka dots mean sass? The red bull then. Alright, your bull is chosen. Belle chose the bulls, tossed the bulls behind her, and they vanished in a cloud of smoke. So you two ready for your first interrogation? I guess so. Wait, shouldn't we think about who we're going to interrogate? I mean, we should pick whoever we think will give us the best information, right? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. In that case, we should probably pick Kishi. Are you sure? Well, the alternative would be to pick Al. And I can tell you that he's as stubborn as a mountain. I doubt we'll be able to get him to talk much. And he's a private detective. He's probably experienced in being able to get information out of people, while also keeping his own info hidden away. Do you think Kishi would be any better? Well, I mean, she's probably going to be a tough cookie to crack too, but it'd be easier. So it'd be like choosing between normal and hard mode. That's one way to put it. I'm just saying that if you do pick Alphonse, then we'd have to get creative to make him talk. And I don't really want to hurt him or torture him if I'm being honest. Fair point. Wait, doesn't it imply you want to hurt and torture Kishi then? Oh, I don't want to do that either, but if I had to, it wouldn't be as bad if I had to screw with Kishi for a bit. It's not exactly flattering, you know. But I'll leave the choice up to you, Devon. I'll follow your lead on this one. Thanks for putting all the pressure on me. It's not pressure, it's confidence. Same thing, different label. But I might as well figure this out now. We should interrogate... I suppose that's the perfect time to wrap this one up, isn't it? Because we're pretty much at time. And it's always nice to stop on a choice. Although she's right, we should pick Kishi, really. So we'll probably do that in the next episode. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.